Hello and welcome to This Isn't Cereal in My Bowl. I am your host, Ian Compton, and with me is my co-host, Matt Nyman. What's up, Matt?
Oh, not much, Ian. How are you doing today, sir?
Oh, I'm okay. We had some difficulties doing this, starting this first podcast, didn't we, buddy?
A little too much.
Yeah, it was my day was nice, going good, coasting, having a nice day off, and then I'm gonna do my first podcast with my buddy, and then we fixed one thing, and one thing would go wrong. But besides that, I'm having a good day. And your day's good?
I'm having a wonderful day. Actually, I'm having a wonderful morning, considering it's 1:19 in the a.m. over here on the 27th.
Oh, that's what it is for you?
That's what it is for me, yep.
Where are you at right now, Matt?
I'm over at Ramstein, Germany, Ian, and I'm loving it. Can't beat it.
Why you... All right, Matt, why are you there?
Why? Because I signed 6 years of my life away to Uncle Sam, and then after sending me to Texas for 2, they decided that Ramstein was a place to go for a new enlisted Air Force guy, so they sent me right over here. It's been interesting. I think I've enjoyed not working more than I've enjoyed working, though. I look forward to not doing Air Force things and doing, like, German things.
Yeah?
Heck yeah, man.
It's one of the countries I've always loved. I've always wanted to go to. So I'm excited to come visit you once I win the lottery.
Oh, it's amazing.
I'm trying. The Powerball was a miss for me, but the New York Mega Millions is up to like 75 million right now. So you never know.
Hey, it only takes 500. Only takes 500.
That's what I always say. 500 would be life changing.
Right?
Give me $500. There's oh my goodness.
There's so
life
much
changing.
You can do with $500.
Technically, that doesn't pay my rent, but still. Okay, so before we get into where we're at and who we are, let's talk a little bit about what this podcast is and what it's going to be. So this isn't cereal in my bowl, and we are two childhood friends. Well, high school friends. It's like childhood now. Who have been in bands together. Just music lovers in general, and this is where we're going to talk about things of that sort. You got anything to add to that, Matt?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's one of the things is, like, for me, music was always the biggest escape. You had a stressful day, music. You had a rough time with the family, a rough time with the parents, you went to music. I mean, I can't even tell you how many days I spent the night over at that practice studio we had. I mean, that place was more of a home than home. It was awesome.
I know. Music has... an emotion for any emotion you're feeling, a genre to fit any part of your day. And this is where we're going to make lists, review things, talk about what we're digging the past week, and maybe not even music. Maybe we feel like talking about what is our favorite cereal. Maybe we'll talk about that. Maybe we'll talk about TV shows and movies. This is... our bowl could be filled with whatever.
Except weed,
But mainly we're going to talk about music.
I can't smoke.
Except he can't smoke.
I can't
there
smoke.
There we go. And all right. So, I mean, Uncle Sam wouldn't be too down
Uncle
with
Sam
that,
would
I don't
disapprove
think.
of my actions.
All right, before we get into a background on each other, let's discuss what is in our bowl for today. I think our bowl should consist of, we'll learn a little. The audience can learn a little bit about us. Maybe we could talk about a little bit about what we've been listening to the past week. And I think I would enjoy, I think you would too, I don't know if anyone else would, what we're looking forward to this year in music.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if you look at just a list of what's coming out this year as far as the anticipated albums of 2016, it's going to be one of the best years for music that I've ever seen. I mean, for crying out loud, David Bowie already has an album out. Guns N' Roses is coming out with another album. All the new pop stars are coming out with albums. I mean, this is a year for Macklemore, for Katy Perry, for Kanye West. And then you have all the good bands that people actually enjoy listening to.
Here's a little disclosure to all our viewers out there. I love all kinds of music. Creed's my guilty pleasure. I'll say it right now. I cannot stand Guns N' Roses.
Yeah?
Hate Guns N' Roses. I will never be excited about a reunion. Slash is okay. I like the cracked out drummer that was in all the reality shows. You know how he can like kind of talk, not that great. So like that's the only things about Guns N' Roses I like. Okay, and if I had to, I could be drunk and sing "Sweet Child of Mine."
But hey, remember that commercial that Slash had where he plugged his guitar into the back of two minivans and they had subwoofers and speakers and he just rocked out with two cars behind him going crazy? That was actually a pretty cool commercial.
No, I don't remember that commercial. And I will never look up that commercial. And if you try to some way secondhandly get that commercial into my life, I will stop becoming your friend. Not become your friend, I'm already your friend. I will stop being your friend, Matthew.
You will just slash me out of your life, huh?
Oh, are you going to bring puns to this?
Always.
Okay. So, Matt, what have you been listening to?
Oh my gosh.
This past week? What have you been digging?
I have been so excited. So I discovered this band that came out and they had released one album in 2008. They were called Late of the Pier. Their band's concept, I guess you would say, is we are a band from the future. We're aliens. Here's our music. But it's got some of the coolest stuff I've ever seen. It has spacey jams, like David Bowie style spacey jams. It has math rock bits to it.
Bowie's in space.
Bowie is in space in this album, and it is amazing.
Elements of math rock, you said?
Elements of math rock. It goes from really slow to really fast to like do 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 do, and then it's just like this really heavy part. Right.
I'm done. I'm sorry.
You got to check it out. And it has like, it's got poppy bits to it. And there's one song that they use freaking wooden pallets on them. It's amazing. It was a surprisingly fantastic album. I loved it from start to finish. It's so good.
All right, what were they called again?
Late of the Pier.
Are they still a band? Do you know if they're
No.
still... They're not a band. That's okay.
No. They only released that one album. But it's an awesome album. And apparently, like, nobody knows who they are, but I was pleasantly surprised.
All right. Recently, I have getting back into Neil Young, old Neil Young, and the Beatles.
Ooh.
I just read Neil Young's memoir, Waging Heavy Peace, which is phenomenal. I could not recommend that more to anyone. He's very inspirational. The dude's lived everywhere. He's played with everyone, every genre. He made albums with Devo. So I just been really enjoying, like, my favorite Neil Youngs are After the Gold Rush and On the Beach are my two favorite Neil Youngs. And then, like, yesterday at work, I threw on Sgt. Pepper's, and just the whole subway ride home, I was just listening. I went Rubber Soul, and I did Abbey Road today. So, big Beatles kick. That's two things I've been listening to. Anything else?
Oh, no. I actually have been listening to a lot of the Beatles, too, but I've been going the older route. I've been listening to a lot of Please Please Me and It's a Hard Day's Night. Those two albums have been the majority, but they're on Spotify now. And all I can use is Spotify because my phone can't hold all the memory and I don't have an iPod, so it's kind of perfect. It's just been the time to get back into the Beatles, I think.
It's the gift to the world Spotify gave us.
It really is. Well, especially, too, with all the losses we've had between all the musicians and all the actors that have already passed away, it's about time that something good happens in 2016.
Well, actually, that happened before all that happened. So maybe the universe
really?
is like, hey, bitches, you get oh, I cursed. You get you get the Beatles for free. We're taking Bowie.
Oh no!
What? Alan Rickman? You're coming with me. Dun dun dun. Eat my lightning. I don't. That wouldn't even make sense.
Okay, but it's way too early probably to make this assumption, but I'm gonna do it. David Bowie releases an album and then he dies. I think he's gonna have a tour in 2017. By the way, this is some Tupac shit. Oh, this is some
you
Tupac
curse.
stuff going on.
Tupac never toured after his death. Oh my goodness. Since we brought up Tupac, our friend Cody Clark, would do a little shout out, turned me on to this artist. I don't know how you say his last name. It's Anderson, Paak, Anderson Paak or Paak. He's a singer and rapper, and he released an album this year called Malibu, and he samples Hiatus Coyote, the song Molasses in one of his songs, and Rhapsody, she's a female rapper who rapped on Complexion off of To Pimp a Butterfly, Kendrick's album, is on it, and it kind of like gets meh at the end of it, but like the album's pretty solid, like the first half of it, and I've been jamming to that a lot this week.
Sounds wildly promising. I'm gonna have to check that out. I've been wanting to get into more hip hop vibes. This is a good year for hip hop. I think I'm pretty excited.
Same here. But we'll get to that. We will get to that. Anything else of note that you've been listening to in the past week or so?
Lately, not necessarily. It's that Late of the Pure album. I discovered it a couple days ago, and it's been about all I've listened to since then. I've been on a really big just shuffle kick too, and it's been odd because Spotify has suggested shuffle in the same genre. So last week I listened to a lot of pop rock albums. I listened to a lot of The Almost, a lot of Mayday Parade. So now it's suggesting me, here's Amberlin, here's Mayday Parade, here's the Glasslight Anthem. And I'm like, I want to listen to shuffle. Oh, you want more Almost? Here you go. So it's kind of dictated my shuffle.
Did you see Panic at the Disco came out with a new album?
I haven't had a chance to listen to it, but that's actually what sparked my pop rock kick, is I kept re-listening to Pretty Odd and A Fever You Can't Sweat Out, because to me those still are my two favorites. But
I only like Pretty Odd, man. This new album, Pretty Odd is so good that every album they release, I'm like, I'm gonna give you another chance, Panic. I'm gonna give you another chance, and then I listen to it, I'm like, Brendan, I'm not feeling it.
Have you seen the live video of Queen doing Panic at the Disco? I'm sorry, doing Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody?
No, I can't say I have. Is that pretty new?
It's a couple years old. It's on YouTube. If you just type in, Panic at the Disco, Bohemian Rhapsody live, it's the first thing that pops up. It's one of the most amazing live performances I've ever seen, period.
Okay, I'll have to check. I mean, I love his voice. I love Pretty Odd. I love his work in Forgive Dirt, and that's actually kind of got me to be like, okay, maybe Panic is all right. The first album, that was it, early 2000 emo-y, gothic music vibe with like Chiodos, and I never really like got into that too much, like Panic at the Disco and stuff. But I love Pretty Odd, and I will watch this Bohemian Rhapsody video for you.
It's right up there, especially if you like Pretty Odd. I mean, Pretty Odd's pretty much a modern day version of the Beatles and Queens having a Brandon Urie baby, and here he is an album. So
I agree. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't always agree with Matthew, but I agree. All right, I'm going to talk about one more band. I had a huge kick. It was like the week before last week. Just all I listened to was TTNG, This Town Needs Guns.
Oh man, I didn't know you listened to This Town Needs Guns.
They're one of my favorite bands, man.
Oh, what?
The whole discography, I made a playlist of all their stuff, and I just had it on loop. And I always loved the first EP. Well, they had the EP with 26's Dance here. I can't think of the name of it right now.
That's an amazing EP.
13.000000000. Their newer album, I love that. But Animals, like, I liked a few songs, but I never, like, I don't know, I just never jumped at me. But like that last week, Animals is so good,
man.
And I think the thing that finally made it click how great that album is. I watched a live video on YouTube, and I didn't realize that all the guitar is just him. The one I thought there was another guitarist, and the old singer played bass, but no, it was singer. Stu was his name, bassist, and then the two brothers, the drummer and the guitarist. And now there are three. There are three-piece where the singer plays bass and guitar, and they have the drummer and the guitarist. But like Animals is just one guitarist.
That's insane.
Yeah, it's So I just was obsessed with TTNG. I was playing them at work and headphones on the train and all that. So I had to bring it up. I got off the, you can only listen to something for so long. You don't want to ruin it, but it was like a week and a half of just This Town Needs Guns.
Well, it's funny because I kind of have to shout good old Cody Clark out again, but he was the whole reason I got into this Town Needs Guns, and it's because of that 13.000 album. Like, he played that when we were living together. He would play that almost every day, either that or Frank Ocean, and I just got obsessed with both of those artists.
Oh, Frank Ocean.
Frank Ocean.
So yeah, let's get a little taste of how where our music. I'm drawing a blank here. What music we like? It stretches out. Where it all genres. So now I think it's a good point to let's give the audience a little background into us, maybe. So if you want to talk, Matt, about what music you grew up on, where your musical palette went from there, and just a little background. We don't know everything. We don't want to know, the awkward stories, and no one wants to know about your hairy ass, Matt. Which I could say is very. Oh, I brought it up. I did it. You didn't even have to do it. I did it.
Black hole of death right there. So no one wants to know about the categories games and all the ridiculous events that happened during those times. That's valid. I can respect that. No, but it actually started with freaking Christian contemporary garbage worship music that's got good lyrics and really bad tunes.
Jesus, he can move the mountain.
It's even worse than that.
Worse than that?
Yeah, it's got that, and then it has 4 female vocals all singing the same part. That's like, it's just so bad.
Save your walks on water.
And then I had to pretend to like it because it was the only music I could listen to. But then
I know your mom's CD collection, man.
What? Oh, that's CD
I know
collection.
your mom's CD.
Oh God, that's not a collection. That's a CD trash pile. But
go on.
A lot of the music I listened to, because I came from a very religious household, so it had to be Christian based. So this is probably going to get me grounded or something as a 23, 24-year-old male. But I would sneak a lot of secular bands and convince my parents they were Christian. So that's when I started listening to stuff like My Chemical Romance and Good Charlotte and Green Day and stuff like that. Until Jesus of Suburbia came out, then I couldn't listen to Green Day anymore. But
apparently they're coming out with an album this year.
They are. It's going to be good.
Whoa.
But yeah, it was interesting. So I started with that, and then I got more into the music I was allowed to listen to. So a lot of Christian rock artists like 1,000 Foot Crutch and Skillet and Emery and bands that pretty much have you vomiting right now, I'm sure, Ian. And then I discovered Copeland, and that kind of just turned my world around. Copeland was the actual reason.
World turn.
Yeah, you got it. Oh, music puns.
I picked up on a pun.
Well, honestly, here's the thing. I was really afraid a lot of these music puns.
There's 10 people who will get that pun in the whole world.
That's okay, though. That's okay. To be truthfully honest, I thought a lot of these puns were just going to fall flat, but I'm glad they're not, so that's okay.
And 4 of those people are the members of Copeland. 2 of them are you and me.
And the other 4 are guys that do the backstage stuff.
Go on though.
But yeah, Copeland was what really got me into what music can be and how it can be so beautiful and tell a story. It's very interesting because I went through a lot of heartbreak as a youngster and growing up in the household I did. And the first Copeland album is actually about the dude's girlfriend dying in a hospital bed. And I was like, this guy doesn't do what I do to alleviate stress in unhealthy manners. He's able to do it through music and through artistic expression, and that's kind of what really pushed me over the edge to, I need music. There's a lot of people that listen to music in their lives. I need it in my life. And then that's actually when I started playing guitar and wrote some pretty terrible tunes to alleviate stress. Or some pretty terrible tunes.
Oh, if we could find those archives,
I have
that would be great.
I do have them still. But I'm so proud of the stuff that I've done recently and the stuff that me and you did together with No Disguise and Maya, that I'm totally okay showing that to the world, because I'm like, that's how I started. You want to hear how far I got? Check this stuff out. So, it's pretty funny, actually.
That's true. That brings me to a point, actually, I'd like to address real quick, then we'll get back to you. You and a lot of other people created, even when they're young, they created, and it was, even if it wasn't good, you were creating. I have found that I got to a point where I wanted to just bypass the not being great stage and just wanted to be great, and would just pick my music apart until I would even release it. And like I had this concept, like I'm a musician, I'm writing music. I don't want to get into that too much yet. Maybe when more of it's come to fruition, we'll talk about it. But I had a concept album forever, and I would just pick it apart, and I just a few weeks ago I just threw it away and just came up with a new idea, and I am enjoying writing again. And I don't even care if it's not good. I'm just making this. And like I wrote on a piece of paper the other day, I wrote, pardon my French, but fuck being great, just create. And I think that's what's like, just throw it out there, show your progression. You like Kenny, I can't think of his last name, but Kenny from Vacationer started in the starting line, which was, a good pop punk band, but pop punk nonetheless. Moved to Personnel, which is an awesome alternative rock band, to now the chillness of Vacationer. So you gotta have that progression. You gotta just release things and just hope, and I don't know, just hope it's good and just keep building. Look where Radiohead came from, Pablo Honey to In Rainbows, Kid A.
Exactly. And honestly, it's one of those things where you can't let people dictate the music you make.
What I'm saying, Matthew, is I've given you a lot of shit over the years about depictions. But at least you were creating.
Hey, you just gotta mix the chemicals right there.
All right, so you got any more to say about your background and stuff?
Well, I've honestly found, as much as I loved performing, and I definitely want to get back into the performing aspect, I'm loving life behind a soundboard. Between doing it live and doing it for the recording studio that I built over here in Ramstein, I love it. Like, I could spend every single day going to work, sitting behind Pro Tools in my desk, and getting all these freaking microphones hooked up, and then having bands come in and recording their creations, and then getting money for it, and getting to eat food and drink water, because that's important to do what you love.
Nature's first energy drink.
It is. And it's also Wolf Shirt Thursday today, because it's not Thursday, it's Wednesday, but it's always Wolf Shirt Thursday in my mind. But anyway, so
that went over my head.
His listener, he had I don't know if you know this story. So Ian and I are both mutual friends and acquaintances with this musician that actually lives in Europe as well, called Dan Smith, and he has a band called The Listener Project. And he would always, every show that fell on a Thursday, he'd always wear a Wolf shirt. And he said, I asked him, I was like, why do you wear a Wolf shirt? Because I noticed it, because like we'd see him play a lot, and he would be over hanging out with our youth group all the time. And he was like, well, it's Wolf Shirt Thursday. I was like, what's Wolf Shirt Thursday? He's like, I don't know, but I wear a Wolf shirt on Thursday. And it's always Thursday in my mind, so there you go. And he walked away. And if you think about, if you think about how Dan Smith is as a person, just watch listener videos of them live. Like, they perform jokes. They just have terrible live stage presence, but it's so funny, and it ropes you in, really. Like, they have a very intriguing personality, and their music and lyrics are just incredible, but they're always a fun treat. I really like hanging out with them and seeing when they come around and whatnot.
He's a master of words. He lives in Europe now?
He lives in London. They actually have a video where he did Falling in Love with Glaciers in a French woman's home, and the subtitles, the song's acoustic in this old woman's living room, and it's such a beautiful atmosphere. And then she says something, and the subtitles say, I didn't understand a word of any of that. It's so awesome. Mm-hmm. But, yep, they live over in old Great Britain right now, doing music for people. They just played a show in Germany, actually, about a month ago, and I missed it because I had to work.
We may have to fact check that. I'm not sure that they live in Europe.
They have a store over there and everything. They're rooted in Europe. They at least moved here for a little bit. I don't know if it was like a permanent thing, but they pretty much...
They played there and stuff. I don't know. I'm not trying to pull the rug out from under you. I don't know. We'll look into it. We will look into it.
I do know they have a European base, though. Like, they do as much.
Oh, yeah. They tour there.
And they have, like, stores, and they have places. So, yep.
One of the hardest working bands, definitely, touring-wise.
It's crazy. But, yeah, I digress for a little bit. I mean, my influence pretty much stemmed from that, and I'm recording and producing a lot of music, and that aspect of it is just incredible. It's something I've never really experienced before. But what about you, Old Compton? What are you influenced by and excited about when it comes to music?
All right. Well, I come from a family of musicians. My grandfather is a guitarist and wonderful singer in the more doo-wop and 50s and Motown stylings. Yeah, I kind of only and jazz. He likes what he likes, and he doesn't like anything else. Very talented singer. And then my uncle, father, brother, all phenomenal drummers. I grew up around drums, so like Buddy Rich and Neil Peart, Ian Pace, John Bonham, all the great drummers. Max Roach. I grew up in so what I'm saying is I grew up in a drumming family. I played drums, and I branched out and played trumpet. And I wanted to be different, so I was like, I'm gonna play the saxophone. And my teacher was like, we don't have any saxophones. And I was like, give me a trumpet, please. And I got pretty good at it, but I never took it as serious as I should. But so I wanted to be a little different, but I ended up, drums came to play again. And when you and I, we started a band in high school. It was with those guys. We started with our friends Nick Weber, Gretchen Folstead, Jesse McInnes, and then turned to David McCandless. And eventually David Beck was in the band, and turned into Maya. And a little history of my band and my high school and college years. But I wanted to play bass in the band, and then we were all like, it'll be easier to find a bassist than a drummer. So I just started playing drums.
You did want to play bass, didn't you?
I did want to play bass, yeah. Oh, I really tried it up. Well, I kind of had a brother, older brother who picked on me and stuff, and he's phenomenal. I'm all right at drums. My father, brother, and uncle are phenomenal at drums. So my brother was teaching me and stuff, and we have this shed, the shack or the shed, whatever you call it. I grew up in the boonies, the country, and we would just this big shed my dad built, and we would jam there and stuff. My brother was showing me how to play drums, and one time he turned the lights off and he locked me in, and he was like, you can't leave until you learn that beat. After that, instead of like learning it, I just like sat there until he let me out, and I was like, I'm done with this. You're a jerk. So I quit for a while. But musically, yeah, I came from a drumming family, so music I listened to was great drummers. So I love, my first ever CD I ever owned was the Gold 50th Anniversary James Brown 2-disc. It started with please, 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 please. His old the doo-wop stuff, and then it went to his funk. It had all of it. This is what I jammed to. I love it. But I classic rock. Led Zeppelin, Rush. Rush is still my favorite band. I love Van Halen. A lot of my musician friends are haters of Van Halen, but I will forever love those. The first two. Everything. Van Hagar wasn't too great, but Van Halen is awesome. And Kansas and classic rock. And when I started playing trumpet, I got really into jazz, and I already had a background in jazz from loving Buddy Rich and Max Roach and Gene Krupa and all those old big band guys and stuff. And jazz fusion was something that was a big part of my life. Return to Forever and Mahavishnu Orchestra and stuff. And when I started playing trumpet, I got into Louis Armstrong and Miles Davis, Turtle Sandoval. So then that happened. So
Not to digress you, but can't you do a good Louis Armstrong impersonation? From what I've heard.
Yeah, I do a pretty good one. You can't throw me on the spot though. I'll throw it in there when I'm feeling comfortable.
Yeah.
Louis, he's like the Sasquatch. You can't go looking for the Sasquatch and being like, here's Sasquatch. You gotta just let it happen. You feel me?
Feeling like some pudding pops. My name Bill Cosby.
You're the wrong diamond, and that is the worst person to reference today is Bill Cosby. Thank you, Matthew. Thank you for doing that.
I debated in my head, and I just said, just go with it.
Oh, wait. What? Oh, hold on. What's that? Oh, someone's coming to my room. He's... What? I see babies crying. I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I thinks to myself, baby, what a wonderful world.
Oh, my God. Yes.
I have to say that a lot to do with that impression is seeing my face. So if people are like, dude, that's not that good, Louis, You got to see my face. So I moved on to high school, and I started to get into I started to see I grew up with Music Today sucks. That's what I grew up with. And then I started to get in. I found Coheed and Cambria, which we share mutual, love of. I didn't even listen to the new album. I heard a few singles, and I was like, this is not for me.
It's not good, unfortunately.
But the last two were like back to form. Anyway, digressing. So I found the Mars Volta. So I had Coheed and Cambria and the Mars Volta, and I was like, oh man, there's some like good music being made. And then I found the Deer Hunter. Not Deer Hunter, EER, but DEAR, which Deer Hunter I now enjoy. I didn't enjoy back then. But the Deer Hunter, I found them and I was like, psh, it was progressive. It was, oh man, it like had elements of all the progressive bands I loved, in the 70s, but it was like new and Casey's voice, and it was a concept album, and both of us, we love concept albums. So like that started opening doors, and then in 9th grade, I rode a bus to high school with Matt Nyman. And what did we do? We started exchanging music, and I showed him like Kansas 2 for the Show, Emerson, Lake and Palmer. He tried showing me Copeland. I didn't like Copeland. Now they're one of my favorite bands. He tried showing me Me Without You. Hated it. And then we saw the first ever, well, not technically the first show I ever saw, but one of the first shows I went to, like a city and touring band, was the Deer Hunter opening for Me Without You. And then I was like, oh, I get what this Me Without You thing's about. And now they're one of my favorite bands. And then it just, and I can honestly say, people, over 75% of the music I listen to now is because of Matt Nyman. He showed me so much. Sunny Day Real Estate, Beirut, A Great Big Pile of Leaves, As Cities Burn, Must I Go On. He's shown me a lot of stuff. And then, I got into college and, blah, blah. I started listening to rap, and that became a thing that I started getting into. And now I pretty much like any music. And then my palette grows slowly. I see a genre I might not like, and then I find one band in that genre that I'm like, oh, I like what you're doing, and then slowly I start to find other bands, and I might not like that whole genre, but I like certain bands.
Yeah, having an artist like that gets your feet wet. I mean, that's what happened with me in country. I hated country music for the longest time if it was after 1980, but then slowly...
Modern country sucks, man. Well, no. There are still musicians in Nashville and stuff that are making... good country music, but you can't find them.
It's hard to find.
You got like Florida Georgia line.
They're coming out with
bullshit.
a new album, and it's on my most least anticipated of 2016.
Oh yeah, we got to get to that, don't we? Okay, so that was my musical progression, and then I played drums. I was like the kid who could play drums, so I would jam with people, and eventually our band formed. And I want to point out real quick, Matt talked about the audio engineering side of music, and we had an audio engineering class in high school with the awesome Brian Helsel, great teacher. And Matt excelled at that class. He's always like, I did everything good. I could never focus on things. So it's like, I'm here. I put on Pandora and like play video games on the computer. But like Matt was really good at it. He would like go his holding periods and stuff go down and like mix the different choir and orchestra concerts and stuff. And which I did choir, and I played in the different big band. I guess that's another thing in my musical progression. I did big bands and the different symphonic bands. But Matt always loved that side of the. You love that side of the recording and stuff. So, and you're very good at it. I'm just giving you a little pat in the back.
Oh yeah, I'll take it.
From an ocean away.
Well, that's one of the dynamics that we've had musically that has been so incredible. Was you have the classical side of the house. I could tell you that Every Good Boy Does Fine, and there's a face in between that. But past that, I don't know how to read notes. Like, I could not see sheet music and just go, oh yeah, I can play that. And you could probably see sheet music for a trumpet song, not ever hear the song before, and be able to play it. And to me, that just boggles my mind that people can actually do that. It's insane to me.
There are some people that can do that. I cannot sight read. Thank you for the compliment that doesn't fit, but thank you. So we were a big influence on each other, and there was outside forces, and we found our way, and now we like a lot of different things. And that is something that's going to come across in this podcast. We're hoping, we want to tackle different genres. We want to dissect concept albums for the real music geeks out there. Want to know what stories are about. We want to do different lists. What we really dig. And we want to hear from you too. And so
I want to hear from you too.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, so like what I'm trying to say is we'll have different segments in the show. This is just get to know us, and now we brought a few albums that we're excited, or just you hear through the grapevine a band might be coming out with an album this year, or maybe a band has already dropped a single or two last year or this in January, because we're at the end of January, and there's a bunch of music. 2015 was a phenomenal year. Every year. Well, okay, Matt and our group of friends, we had a thing back in 2010. We started doing top 10 lists at the end of the year, which have progressed to having little parties at the end of the year where we talk about it. So each year we come out of a year thinking, man, everyone released music this year. No one's going to release music this next year. And then that next year is like, holy crap, that was the best year for music ever. So with that being said, let's jump to it. Let's talk about. We have 5 albums each, or 5 artists that we're excited for, and we'll jump back one and one. He'll say one, I'll say one, and this is in Cereal in My Bowl's most anticipated albums of 2016. Go ahead, Matt. Give me one of yours.
I'm just gonna start off strong. I'm so freaking excited for the new Macklemore and Ryan Lewis album. It's called This Unruly Mess I've Made. It drops on February 26th. We were talking earlier about how we both enjoy rap and hip-hop, and I'm a huge R&B, hip-hop, rap fan. I love that style of music. I love what they can do. But the lyrics to me have always been lackluster. So in 2012, when Macklemore and Ryan Lewis dropped The Heist, it blew my mind away because musically it was amazing, conceptually it was amazing. It had everything I was hoping for. And this album is just them touring for 4 years, performing for 4 years, doing things that nobody has ever done in a live setting for 4 years. Literally, one of the performances for Same Love, he married 8 homosexual couples. That never happens. He's making waves. He is not just producing good, fun music, but he's producing music that's making people think, and it's popular, and it's in the mass media, and it's a very interesting combination. So I'm very excited to see what they do with this album and where the lyrics go. It's going to be incredible. I can't wait.
All right. I'll bite. I didn't really listen to their first album, but I like the singles and whatnot. And I really liked his Tiny Desk that he did on NPR performance. That was good. Mm-hmm. And they released a single. Have you listened to it? It's called what? Like White Privilege?
I think it's White Lines or something like that. Or I've heard it on the radio a couple times over here.
It's pretty good.
It's really good. Yeah, it's interesting too because it swears a lot. From what I gathered, and Germany doesn't censor their radio, apparently.
Yeah, go Germany, man.
It's kind of awesome. They got Jeva, but they don't censor their radio, so I'll take it.
All right. So Macklemore, Ryan Lewis. All right. I'll bite. I'll check it out. My first album is Into It Over It's new album that will be coming out this year since Intersections. It will be called Standards. That's Evan Weiss's musical project. He has been involved in countless bands. Was like up, down, down, left, something or other. I never listened to them, but that was one band. He played bass in Demiria. He has a band called Pet Symmetry. He's in the There with one of my favorites, Mike Kinsella from Owen. The dude is in a lot of bands, and this is his like main focus. Into It Over It is, and he released in a single called No EQ. And in an interview, his producer said this. He compared the album to. Yes, the progressive rock band from the 70s, which is one of my favorite bands ever. And to think, Into It Over is, Evan is kind of like, people look at like the front runner of the emo revival, not like the emo that I talked about, the early 2000s goth kid emo, but like the 90s, Cap and Jazz kind of emo, American football. And he writes such catchy hooks, really great lyrics, melodies to stick in your head for days, and to think about how weird he's going to get if it's going to be all progressive. So excited for this album. I forgot to look up the release date. You beat me there.
Seriously though, that sounds incredible.
Yeah, check out No EQ. It's out there in the internet world. But yeah, I'm really excited for that one. What's your next one, Matt?
I honestly I didn't know Into It Over It was gonna release an album this year, so Into It Over It, because especially after you showed me them back in October, I've been listening to 52 Weeks like nonstop. It's so good. It's so cool. Who writes an album in 52 weeks with 52 songs about 52 situations? It's amazing. I'm so pumped. The next one I have is a band I've always been a sucker for. Explosions in the Sky is coming out with a new album called The Wilderness.
That single.
That single is so good. Oh my goodness. And it's so different too. It's not like anything I've seen from them before. And between their experience just making movie soundtracks the past couple years, I can't wait to see what they do with an album. It's going to be fan-freaking-tastic. I've been listening pretty much nonstop to their albums, especially Take Care, Take Care, Take Care. And, oh man, now I'm forgetting the name of it. All of a sudden I miss everyone. Those two albums I've been listening to pretty much nonstop when I'm studying, when I'm doing my college work, when I'm at work and I just like need chill music. They've been my go-to. So to have this come out in a few months, it's April 1st though, so if it doesn't come out, that's a freaking cruel April Fool's joke, and I will be so upset. I would cry.
I think it'll come out, man. It'll be okay.
I don't trust it until April 2nd when I'm listening to it.
It is weird that they're a band of, 5 to 7 song albums, and this is like an 11-track album.
It's gonna be cool.
I'm excited. I'm with you.
Yeah.
Next on my list is, I don't know if I should have done more research, I guess, but they released a single last year that was really awesome. I don't know if they have a name for the album or anything, but Oh Brother's going to release a new album this year. Disillusion was fantastic. Like, Garden Window was one of my most anticipated albums of 2011, and then Disillusion came out, and it was like sludge Pink Floyd, and it was amazing. And I just think Oh Brother can just keep getting great. They're sludge metalers from Atlanta, Georgia, and a great band. They're on Triple Crown Records. Really, really excited about that album.
They're just, they're so progressive too, which is amazing. I absolutely love it.
Oh, Tanner Merritt's voice is such a great, it's like, it's so unique. No one sounds like him.
And hearing it live too, because remember the show we went to that had
fantastic
this
live.
Looking back, this show was more amazing than I knew at the time. It started off with Law Dispute, Oh Brother, Moving Mountains, and Thrice. That was a show. That was incredible. That is one of my all-time favorite concerts I've been to in Pittsburgh. And I did not appreciate it until after I left, and it pissed me off so much because that was so good.
The Rex. Great show.
So good.
Great show.
Oh, that's exciting.
All right, what's your next album?
So my next album, I'm going to go into more of a modern vibe, I guess you'd say, a more radio-friendly band, but the 1975 is coming out with their sophomore album. The title of it's creepy, but it's kind of cute in a way, and I feel like that really describes the 1975. It's called I Like It When You Sleep, for You Are So Beautiful Yet So Unaware of It. And it also comes out on February 26th. Just let that sink in, because the title is about somebody just staring at someone when they're asleep. But how many times have you done that? Like, it's kind of sweet in the same regards. But they released...
I love how you'd lick your lips when you're sleeping, Matt. I don't know if you do that. Okay, so 1975. Are they the band that did Black Chocolate?
Yes, they are, actually. And they had the Sex, Robbers, and Chocolate were their 3 singles off the first album.
That's the only thing I know. Okay, I never listened to them, but Whitey's excited for that album too, so both of you are excited. I'll have to check it out.
Their last album was good. I'm really bummed because the lead singer did a very slow, very just one guitar in a very big open wooden room, so it had a lot of echo, a lot of reverb, and he just sang a very slow version of Sex. And I didn't like the band until I heard that, and it completely changed my viewpoint on them. 3 months after I saw that video, it got pulled from YouTube. So I don't know where it's at. I've been trying to find it because I've wanted to listen to that version of the song, and it's driving me nuts. Like, I'm about to just freaking record my own version that sounds like it just so I can listen to the damn thing. But
Do it, man.
it's so, like, their musicianship is so much better than playing music to get the girls type of thing, even though at a surface level, that's what their music sounds like. So it's kind of cool when you really dive in and see what they're all about and see the intricacy of their music, even though it sounds really simple. They're just great musicians, so I'm pretty excited for this album.
All right, I'll check it out. My next one is there's no name. There's a few singles out. He's been on Snapchat recently in the studio, mouthing along and singing along to the songs. But Chance the Rapper's new mixtape it will be dropping this year. Acid Rap is one of the best mixtapes ever. Donnie Trump and the Social Experiment Surf album that Chance was a huge part of last year was one in my top. I think it was in my top 6 albums. I saw Chance live last year at Terminal 5 in New York, and I never could imagine a hip hop band having that big of a sound. And Chance is one of the greatest entertainers I've ever seen. And he has just such a positive persona. And he's so good, and I'm so excited for his next mixtape.
It's gonna be incredible. It's gonna be so good. I can't believe I didn't go to that show. You
kind of had to go back to Germany.
I literally got hit by a bus though the day you were at that show. So how's that for some? I should have just gone to the show, but.
Just preference to preference, everyone. It's not as badass as you think. He was in another bus, so he wasn't just walking and got hit by a bus.
We were also standing still, but.
Oh. Okay, what's your next album? You're excited for?
This one's gonna probably irritate you a little bit, so I'm not gonna put it last. But Kanye West next month is coming out with Swish on February 11th.
Hey, I gotta stop you right there. That was my next one I was going to talk about. You kidding me? I'm not excited for Swish.
You're seriously excited for it?
Yeah, have you heard No More Parties in
Not
LA?
yet. I can't freaking find a non-Gemma version of it yet.
What's that?
Gemma. Damn it. Gemma is the worst thing ever. So they take popular music and music from like Tooth and Nail Records and Solid State. You can't find them on YouTube. And it pretty much blocks them. And I've just been so freaking busy when I'm not at work. I haven't sat down and tried to find it. So any link I found has either been blocked by my work computers or blocked by Gemma. So I've just been like, I won't listen to the song, and I always forget to.
I'm gonna send you it after this. It features Kendrick and Madlib did the production, and it's just awesome.
Awesome. I think it's gonna be a great comeback from Yeezus and whatever that was.
Oh, Yeezus. If you just, as David Beck, my friend, said, Yeezus was just a few clicks away from being great. Yeah. But it had its misses for me too. I didn't love it as much as other people did.
Took a chance and it didn't work out. But now.
But what do you say? I'm so excited to be done with the greatest album ever.
I can't wait.
In Kanye fashion.
Typical Kanye.
Oh, I'm very excited.
This album will have me facing northwest the whole time I listen to it. I just can't wait.
Okay, we're moving on now. Now that he did that pun. Okay, so that was we both had that in our next. My last album, they were in the studio apparently in October. I think we're gonna have a Radiohead album this year. I'm excited.
You're thinking Radiohead.
I'm thinking Radiohead is gonna release their next masterpiece. King of Limbs was a good album, but it was kind of a little bit of a misstep. And I think the next one's going to be phenomenal, and I'm very excited for it.
Absolutely. Radiohead's just a good band, too. They're just a really
good band. Revolutionary. Band. What are you talking about?
It's just, Radiohead is just great musicians making great music all the time. They're just so great.
That's true. All right, what's your last album? Because we're running along here.
So my last album here is something I'm incredibly excited for, and I wasn't as excited for it until I saw who they're co-headlining their newest tour with. But Modest Mouse is having a new album this year, and Modest Mouse is always a good band, but they're co-headlining with Brand New, which makes me wonder if they're trying music that's completely out of their typical light, atmospheric, kind of easy listening indie music. I'm really wondering if they're going somewhere heavy with with this album, or if they're trying to branch out and get influenced by musicians that have done things completely different on each album they do. Like, that's one thing I love about Brand New, is each album progresses, but it's a completely different genre of music each time, but it's still brand new. So I'm interested to see what they do. I'm looking forward to this tour because they're going to have a lot of live music that's probably going to be on the new album.
Oh,
It's going to be a good time.
they are releasing a new album.
They are.
I knew they really their album that came out last year was one of the biggest flops for me.
Same here.
If I could be honest, strangers to ourselves. But I just looked up there's a article on Pitchfork that says Modest Mouse's next album due in 2016 will feature Nirvana's Chris Novoselic.
Right? What's going to happen?
Right? What could happen? And I saw that tour too. And let's talk about another album. Brand New promised an album or an EP to be released in December of 2015, and it never came.
So you think? You think do that?
It has to, unless they're just never gonna release music ever again.
I could see that.
Oh yeah, now you. I didn't know Moss. Okay.
Just a sidebar too.
Yeah, come on, Modest Mouse, come back to form. What?
So Jimmy Eat World is a band that releases an album every 3 years since they came out. This is the third year. They haven't said anything, but this is the third year. So be on the lookout.
I'm on the lookout.
That's
our anticipated albums. Now, Matt and I have been friends for a very long time. There's always a little bit of a. We like to have a little competition, So I hope we decide that we would do a little trivia at the end of each episode. At the end of every episode, we will have people, friends or fans, send in trivia questions that they'll eventually give us the answer to, and we'll try to answer them. And it'll be like a best 2 out of 3 scenario. We'll keep a little tally to see who knows the most. So for this episode, I have a few questions for Matthew, and he has a few questions for me, and we're just gonna go back and forth, and whoever gets one wrong, and then if the next person gets it right, they're the winner. So let's give this a shot. Who wants to? You wanna? What do you want to do? Who's going first?
Tell you what, knock it out. Let's see what happens. Bring it on. I want to see what you got.
You want a question? Okay.
I want a question. Let's see what you got.
All right. Hold on. All right. I'm thinking of 3 frontmen named Aaron. What's the last name and band? 3. I need 3.
Aaron Gillespie, The Almost. Aaron Weiss, Me Without You.
Are you kidding me?
I'm going to kick myself, aren't I? Aaron Marsh, Copeland.
Okay, you got 2 of them right. I'm looking for a different Aaron than Aaron Gillespie.
Really?
Yes, I am.
Oh my goodness. A different
I'm gonna give you a 10-second countdown here, and if you can't figure it out, you got it wrong. Starting now.
Shit.
Come on, Matt. You got 2 seconds, man. We were looking.
I don't know.
We were looking for Aaron Sprinkle of the band Fair.
Oh my gosh. And not only that, but Aaron Sprinkle is one of the most influential producers in my life.
Okay.
That's embarrassing.
All right.
It's
okay, buddy. It was a trick question. Woo. So I'll give you another chance. You want another question?
Well done. No.
Okay.
I got one for you, sir.
Okay, let's see. The game goes on if I can't get this right, so you're right.
Okay, you ready?
Of course.
How many albums did Rush release in the 1980s? And can you name them?
Are you kidding me? 80 Rush? You're doing 80s Rush?
80s Rush.
You know I hate 80s Rush. All right, we got Moving Pictures.
You don't have to name them.
We got Signals.
Yep.
I'm naming them. We got Moving Pictures. We have Signals. We have Grace Under Pressure. Power Windows. What's that one? It has the red something. I don't know. The cover's all red. Do I have to say the names? Shit.
No, you don't have to say the names. But you got that one's Hold Your Fire.
Presto. Presto was in the 80s, right? Hold Your Fire.
Yep.
Presto, Roll the Bones. Is that all of them?
Yep.
Oh, Exit Stage
That's all of
Left.
them.
The live album in the 80s. So good.
I would accept 7, but yes, Exit Stage Left was also 80s.
I got them all.
Yep, you got 7.
I want to preference this by saying I hate 80s Rush.
That's why I did 80s Rush.
So, all right, how many other questions do you have?
I have 2
Ready.
other ones.
Do you have like 2 more ready?
Yep.
Okay. I won that round. We'll do rounds because I want to keep going.
Yeah.
So, all
you
right,
got
my
that
next
round.
question for you. I got that one right.
Yeah, you won that round.
Oh, I thought you said you got that one wrong. I was like, okay, so I won the first round.
No,
All right, my
you
next
won
question
that
for
round.
you. Name 2 bands that are touring this year who have been on hiatus. The 2 bands I'm thinking of, not just 2 bands.
2 bands. Well, the first one's Thrice.
Okay, you're correct.
Is Moving Mountains going on a tour?
No, they played 2 shows in December, but no.
I was gonna say Copeland is touring this year.
But they're in the Christian rock realm, tooth and nail kind of thing. I
These
did give
guys
you a
are
hint.
the-
I want you to know that.
That have been on hiatus. You got Thrice.
I'm giving you the countdown.
Dude, give me the countdown. I haven't looked at Tooth and Nail in so long. Oh my goodness. Is Under Oath back?
Under Oath. They're
Under
touring
Oath
with
is back.
Caspian.
Under Oath is touring with Caspian? What?
Yeah, man.
Whoa, wait, hold up. Is Aaron Gillespie their drummer now, though? Is that happening?
We'll look it up.
Or is,
I'll look it up, but give me my question because we're going real long here.
Oh my gosh, that blows my mind. That's amazing. Okay, so Hocus Pocus is a famous song by the band Focus. What year was it released, and what is the full name of the album, including the re-release title?
I don't know, man. Well, I don't know the name of the album, but I'll try to guess the release. I'm going either 1973 or 76.
So close, 1971.
Yeah, you got me.
The
All right,
album,
go on.
the album title though is called 2,
2? Are you kidding
and
me?
it was re-released. Yeah, it was re-released as Moving Waves.
All right, you won that round, the last round. So we are 1-1. Name the Pittsburgh native who made a career for himself in acting in film, but is also a skilled pianist.
Is he a frontman of a band?
No.
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 Jesus.
It's more of like a hobby thing he does more now. He's been on like Conan and stuff. He does plays. Yeah.
Is Ed Sheeran from Pittsburgh?
No. He's Irish, I think.
He's not Hawkeye.
Is that was your guess?
He's Irish.
No, I'm. Nah.
Yeah, I was thinking Ed Sheeran.
You don't know? You can admit you don't know, Matt. It's okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right, it was Jeff Goldblum.
Jeff Goldblum?
Yeah,
Is a pianist?
yeah, he's really good. Look it up. What? Also,
That's awesome.
yeah. All right, I have to get this.
That's
right.
so freaking cool.
I have to get yours
okay,
right.
so last one. The Deer Hunter released thus far 4 act-based rock opera albums about a young boy traveling on his own path in this life. In what year did Casey release Act 1, The Lake South, The River North, and, for bonus points, how many members of the Crescendo family recorded on the album?
The Axe albums?
The first Act album.
The first 3. What was the first question though?
Only the first one. What year was it released?
Oh, what year was it released? 2006.
Yep.
It was
But you got the bonus question wrong.
3 family members. What?
No.
Oh no, his brother
Yeah,
didn't
this
record
blew my
on
mind
it.
when I looked it up.
It was 2. His mom and him. Damn it.
Nope.
What?
Nope. 4. So, you ready for this?
Oh,
you ready for this?
yeah, I guess.
You're right.
I still won. I want that
Casey
to be
is-
known.
You did still win. But this is really cool.
Oh, Nate did.
So,
Nick did record on it.
Casey and Nick recorded. They did the whole album. His mom, Judy, recorded on City Escape and The Inquiry of Miss Terry. his father, Phil, recorded the organ on 1878.
I did not know that. I learned something.
Crazy cool. I discovered that today, actually. I thought that was so freaking cool.
Well, I won. It feels good. We can put that in the tally. I won the first episode. All right.
You got the first episode.
This has been This Isn't Cereal in My Bowl, our first podcast. Hopefully it'll get better from here. It'll get cleaned up. Hope you enjoyed it. It's not made yet, but we will have a Facebook and a Twitter and all that, and you can follow us, and whatever site we put this on, please subscribe and like and all that stuff. It's weird saying all this because we don't have any of this made yet, but it will be made. So it's like, come, message and us and what all that good stuff talk about, and let us know what you want us to talk about and all that stuff. We were going to do a little gag sponsor thing in the middle here, but we totally forgot about it. But if you like to sponsor, we'll do that. I don't know. I listen to podcasts, and it seems like that's things people do.
That's what they do.
Thank you, Matt, for joining me tonight and getting through all those technical difficulties.
Hey, no worries. You do what you got to do, and then you get the product out there, so.
Oh, my. All right. This has been our first podcast. Thanks, everybody. Have a good one.
Signing off. Thank you.
Oh, signing off.
I can change it.